So, I hope everybody has a good time during the league so far, having a lot of fun with this new Crucible thing. I just started interacting with it, to be fair. I wanted to bring you two things today. For one, a build update with a, in my opinion, quite interesting no diadem version. Diadem is actually fine. You can still get a diadem and it's super cheap, surprisingly. So apparently it had no effect. Still turns out very cheap. Even the specific version with the elements seems to be very fine. So if you want to go the diadem version, but I'm experimenting with a bit of a different setup right now, and also kind of decided to stop investing on this character a bit earlier than usual. And that is because I think it might be a version I like more that focuses less on bossing. Obviously, there's like a lot of capability, like it's more capped, but way cheaper to do actually. So yeah, I'm basically done with the character, to be fair. The only thing I want to try, one thing I'm gonna show you in a second, but it could stay like this. The only thing I'm actually missing, I'm really looking for right now, is my flask mods. I have this flask here and this one that are not that great. I mean, evasion is okay, increased evasion, but I would like to have one of them reduced effect of curses and the other one, it doesn't matter which, to have increased armor on it as a suffix. So I'm still working on that, but I'm running out of alterations, so I have to try. But all the other flasks are really good now. They're fine, they're automated. I'm trying Sin's Rebirth right now, which I like a lot. I also had that in the guide already. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Another change I did is, since I don't have a diadem, I figured if I go for a evasion rating on the helmet instead of a pure energy shield, which obviously makes it more difficult to get the energy shield high enough, but to have evasion rating on the helm allows me to pick up this node here. And 15% chance to suppress spell damage makes it possible, without a diadem, to skip on the spell suppression on the chest. So I basically made my normal chest. I have the crafting video for that. It's also in the Google document. But instead of rolling for spell suppression, I just rolled for double resist, then did the shenanigans to get the Chaos Res and actually hit the tier 1 Chaos Res. First try, that was really good. And then crafted the rest like normal. So that was kind of cool. It made it a bit cheaper, I would say, for the essence rolling. So that's a bit of a change there. And that means I only need roughly 10 spell suppression here and roughly 10 here, I believe. Or apparently 19 is enough. And I don't even need any of these extra points here. That kind of depends, obviously, a bit on how much dex you have on your gear in total because of Magebane. So that's kind of a bit of a different version kind of thing I tried. By the way, 95 by now. I used some 5-way carry things, however they're called, you know, these 5-way carries on TFT. That's kind of cool because it's so easy to level up with that and it's so cheap, to be fair. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, that's what I did. And also having this helmet allows me to get additional duration, like these implicit modifiers. Temporal Chains Curse Effect is kind of cool. They're all low ones. I just meant for the low ones, and that's fine. And obviously has more space, way more space for resistance on the entire gear set because there's one less unique, which is really cool. I got a +1 amulet as well. My Chaos Res is 76 as well because of this implicit here. That's capped, that's kind of cool. We're rocking roughly 8k armor, which is like always here. It's a bit low on the armor side, but that's fine with flasks and getting that other flask suffix, which is incredibly strong. That should be kind of okay. Normal wand and shield still. Ring, I opted for the minimum endurance charge because I really like that for the physical damage reduction. Pretty normal gloves. Also the implicit is now free, so I have this hinder enemies on hit with spells. So that's kind of cool because before we had spell suppression there often as well. That was very necessary and feels difficult. Also very cheap boots then in this case, very easy to do. Got the onslaught there going, and I made sure I have this craft on the belt. That's really important with our diadem. If you don't have a diadem, you need this craft, I believe. Without it, it's really difficult with the recharge. That's really not fun. You shouldn't do that. Even with the diadem, I would get this one against bosses, to be fair. That's really helpful. The other option would be, by the way, trap throwing speed, which is also really cool. But yeah, that's kind of the where the build is right now. And I can just show you the tree right here. And you can also just look up my profile, obviously. But pretty standard tree. Other than that, that's pretty fine. I'm trying this node here. More chaos damage against energy shield, because they always have energy shield, I feel like. We don't really take it away with the tiny physical damage part. So that's kind of cool. Obviously, same anointment and everything, and I'm still rocking this Curse Mastery here because I haven't upgraded my my Herald of Agony to the fancy one yet, and I'm missing quality everywhere except for I got a 21 Seismic Trap, and I do have currently Void Manipulation instead of Efficacy, just because the rolling, the color rolling didn't go too well so far, and yeah, ran out of currency again. I think I could actually try again by now. I have a bit more currency now, but yeah. When I did it was a bit difficult. Same with the alterations, running low on the alterations makes flask rolling a bit difficult. One thing I believe is cool that I want to try is, or potentially want to try, is to kind of recraft this helmet pretty much the same as it is. Like life, having energy shield, resistance stuff. I can even drop some resistance here, maybe and get it elsewhere. And getting the ailment duration when focused mod, because you can get that on rare pieces as well. And as soon as I have that one, means I have integrated focus anyway. And then I could get something like this. I just kept the random one, but the last thing, the 13% additional physical damage reduction while focused mod, would be really interesting, because if we focus anyway, we get more physical damage reduction, which is super, super important, because that's like the weak point, isn't it? That's like kind of an idea, right? Instead of I crafted some armor and evasion here, but there is space. There is like another prefix left over on this. Actually, 2 empty prefixes in theory of what we want on the gloves. So that's something I might want to try in the future if I want to, go that way. But so far, I feel like the character is kind of done for me, and for like heavier bossing and things. I haven't tried really big bosses yet with this, except for like getting the watchstones. Obviously, made quite some progress here. Overall, I'm like 96. I went out of the essences. Obviously, I did essences for quite some time. That was very boring. I'm not going to do that again. And I went into the money printer, aka Expedition now, and starting to farm this. Keeping some other stuff like the rogue marker still open, because I know for challenges I will need to do a heist. So I rather just collect the things now, because I don't want to trade for heist contracts and stuff. That sounds horrible. I don't want to do that. I'd rather do that myself, and I'm still collecting some June missions here, just accumulating them. I don't know how many we got now. Not that many. Maybe these nodes don't do anything. I'm pretty sure they don't do anything. I have pretty much the same. I didn't run any missions yet, and I have pretty much the same amount of missions, even though I have this node and I have this node. I'm pretty sure they're just bugged. There's just no way. It's pretty much the same, right? I'm so confused. Can somebody confirm that this is working? Because I don't believe it does. But yeah, that was like for Atlas strategy what I did. And where did it go? Here, yeah. Basically, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. And with all the extra points I'm gaining, there's some 30-ish more points to gain over time now. I can go ahead and spec into something else. I don't know what yet. I spec'd into strong boxes just to get scarabs for challenges later, because it's always good to force some leak mechanics, doing some stuff like that. And maybe I already start doing one of the challenges by speccing into something. I don't know yet. But for now, I'm just doing that. And I thought I'd bring you along, including, by the way, these guys here. Oh yeah, let's talk about the leak mechanic. It's really weird, to be fair. I haven't seen much good things yet. I have collected a few items that already have some good mods, and maybe I want to combine them. I got a few of these geodes. I'm about to get another geode from this one. And so far, I'm a bit limit testing with this. And as far as I can tell, is I can pretty much do the fully charged, like when it breaks, Crucibles, even in T16 maps. Depends a bit on the map mods and how laggy the game right now is. I can definitely die there. It's like absolutely can die there, but the build can so far handle them quite well. So I figured I'm just gonna bring you along on a not too dangerous, I mean kind of dangerous because of the hinder and the reduced blast charges map, T16. And after that we can do the Maven invitation because I got my first 10-10, just to give you a bit of a feeling on how this might look. Obviously standard setup. And oh, by the way, I'm self-casting the curses right now, and I think that's really good, especially with the increased curse effect here from temporal chains. I feel like it's so much quicker to tag monsters with a self-cast temporal chains, which is typically enough for normal monsters in terms of damage anyway. It's so much quicker than casting the brand, which is way slower, and then waiting for the brand to apply. So I feel like there's like a nice defensive layer. But yeah, I said I have a lot of latency issues today, so this might be unwatchable and terrible, but we will see. I'm gonna show you just a little bit of gameplay. Here's like an essence monster, which you probably want to double curse, and then if it stands for a while and into this stuff, then it's kind of dying. Obviously, it's not an insanely fast build, right? It never was. I know it's sometimes really off-putting for people, and that's okay, and I think that's why we need to show gameplay. In general, builds need to have more gameplay. And especially gameplay that maybe doesn't even work all that well. Like on more difficult maps, show some depth. Because it's so hard to judge from content in POBs if you're not insanely experienced how gameplay might look and feel. Like day-to-day gameplay, not the very good ones and not the very bad ones, just like the average kind of thing. I'm never touching these, by the way. They are very confusing to me. I will have to for challenges, I believe. But yeah, that's pretty much the speed I'm going at. Obliteration obviously doing huge amounts of work. And I'm definitely not immortal. At all. And some monsters just take a while. And it's not so much that you can't kill them, it's more like you need to keep them a bit in the explosions, right? That's often difficult. What I typically do if there's a lot of density, I just don't necessarily focus them. I throw a seismic roughly in the direction I go, and then the yellow mobs just follow into it, right? And then they die within the next pack. You don't need to finish the yellow wherever it is. So yeah, that's kind of that. It's pretty good. Let's find our cool Crucible thing. Is this a special map? I feel like I spec'd into not having these garden things there, however they're called. And there's two of them. Probably it's like a special map. Oh, there's the thing. Okay, cool. Let's clean up around it. Also, one thing I figured out, which is really cool and really helpful actually. You can press skills while you're channeling the thing. Like while you're channeling on this, you can press skills like Malevolence, for example. I don't know if you can press other things, but that actually works. So I'm just gonna break it entirely. It is obviously really difficult. Like for example, I can press Malevolence here and keep channeling, which is kind of cool. It's gonna break in a second. And then make sure we get some flasks in. And I start with getting temporal chains out. And now I try to place my seismics. Obviously running out of flask charges. I think the thing even said it has less flask charges, right? Ooh. Corrupted blood immunity also really helps with this. These guys are scary, very scary if you get hit by them. What is this? Is this a big boss? Oh, there it is. Oh my lord. I'm gonna die here. I feel like I'm gonna die. It's like one of these mobs that just disappear. They just shouldn't exist, in my opinion. Because every time I dodge the other thing, stupid mob is gonna disappear. Stay here. Okay, let's not get too far away. Yeah, I don't know. Look at this guy. Is it like a special monster? I have no idea. That's like the Act 7 boss, isn't it? 6? I have no idea. Okay, is the thing dead now? Okay, it died. Perfect. So yeah, I mean, that was a fully T16. Maybe the map was weak. Obviously, it didn't have damage modifiers. I mean, that's how it looks. Typically, if you're lucky and there's not one of these evil ones that just disappear, it's a bit faster. And then you even get some loot, apparently. Sometimes. So yeah, and then now I have this. It's not even fully charged yet. Great, cool. It takes forever. So yeah, let's leave this map alone. Let's do the 10-way. But so that's my experience with these things for now. So I feel like I can absolutely kill them. And especially if I just want to unlock a tree, like on a new item, I can fully channel those, like an item I found in a T16. So I don't know how that relates, but if I pick up an item, like a one-handed situation typically, put it in and unlock the first node, or this node here, immediately, without it bricking automatically, right? So you don't need to go all the way. I'm just doing it right now because I want to figure out if this is helpful, right? If you can brick it and then still kill it, maybe the chance of getting special things is better. And I feel like I can't kill it. I'm definitely not immortal and I'm gonna die to that from time to time. But it's doable, quite doable actually. So yeah, let's do the 10-way. So you see a bit more content and then probably gonna call it quits for today. Or at least for the video. Oh, I didn't pay attention. Let's go here. I mean, one major issue is obviously if you have this empty X, you're not helping yourself. So you can't see anything. It's a bit of a problem. Especially maven puddles are a bit of an issue. Oh, this guy as well, probably. Is everything dead? Oh, there's one. Oh, that's the tree one. These are really dangerous. Like in the map? I don't know what's up with them, but there's like 3 of them in the actual map as a map boss, and they're very dangerous. It's a spider person. Whoa. That's what I mean. It's like so spiky in terms of latency. I don't know if it's the empty X as well, or if this got anything to do with that. And I'm dying to this guy. Nice. Just can't see. It's horrible. But I like the empty eggs. Please don't laser me, person. Okay, is it dead? Okay, nice. Yeah, we did something. Cool. We got a single splinter out of it. Nice. So yeah, I don't know. That's where the build is right now. It's obviously far from what it was in terms of damage, but it feels so playable to me. It feels perfectly fine. Let's open this. I always get the same. Remove from a non-unique item. I have so many of those now. I think it's all of them, right? Yeah, it's just all of them. It's really boring. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? So yeah, that's where I am with this whole thing. And basically, to be fair, somewhat concludes the build for me. I have a bit more testing to do and want to try a few more things and then maybe interact with the unique weapon trees or interact with trees in general. I think this one has something interesting already here. Trap throwing speed. So let's see. I think this one had something as well. Oh yeah, it has the cooldown thing for that. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm probably going to look towards something different. And there's a bunch of options I want to potentially do in the league, depending on how long I stay motivated and interested. And one thing is trying an actual bosser, right? Not a league stat, like an actual really cool bossing character. That would be interesting. I would like to try more different league starters because I feel like I could use like a second one to switch to. And I'm just interested in that, how other league starters work out and maybe work out some kind of a similar progression thing for them, like as a backup. That's kind of interesting. Might look into an actual overpowered endgame character if I'm motivated that long, or might try some hardcore SSF experience later into the league. But yeah, I mean, it's day 3 or it's day 4 by now, and I have still a bit of playtime on day 4. So it's kind of day 3-4 update. I hope it's going really well for you guys. I'm gonna leave you with this. You can check my character online on the profile. Actually, I'm gonna export you a current POB. I might do that. I'm gonna think about if I do it or not, because it's so confusing. Whenever I do that in an update video, people just grab that one and never look at the actual guide thing, and then they get really stuck, which is fine. They come typically, or some of them come to the Discord, and we can help them out and point them to the actual guide. But it's like, yeah, I might just not do that. Look up my profile. If you can find my profile, you can maybe do that. So you can see. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it, right? So I hope you guys are happy. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun with the league, despite the league mechanic, blah, blah, blah. Don't read too much Reddit, I think is the main thing. And then you're fine. Just, enjoy yourself, do something cool, and then you're gonna be fine. Or just quit the league, I guess. Who knows? See ya. Bye.